I just wish, with regard to the beam scheme, farmers have to reduce the amount of their stocking densities. They're given a stocking density of an annual figure, which is very confusing, not just to farmers, but to those who advise them. Will your department break that down into a monthly stocking density to enable farmers to ascertain how much reductions they actually have to take out to qualify for the beam scheme, so there isn't a clawback?
Thank you very much, Deputy.
Thank you, Deputy McNamara. The objective of the beef exceptional aid measure was to provide temporary exceptional adjustment aid to farmers in the beef sector in Ireland, subject to the conditions set out in the EU Commission implementing regulation. This aid was granted to provide temporary market adjustment support in response to specific market disturbance, as outlined in Ireland's notification to the EU Commission. As part of the notification and approval process, the 5% reduction was part of the conditionality which was sought by the EU. Approved beam participants have given a commitment to reduce the production of bovine livestock manure nitrogen on their farms by 5% for the period from the 1st of July 2020 to the 30th of June 2021, as compared with the previous period from the 1st of July 18 to the 30th of June 2019. The most recent analysis of nitrates trends in participating herds indicates that 2/3 have already started to make adjustments to reduce their nitrates, with almost half the participants meeting that 5% reduction already. Participants can access their most recent nitrates figures via the exceptional aid measure link on their agrifood.ie login. This figure is currently updated quarterly, but following discussions with stakeholders recently, provisions is now being made to display it on a monthly updated figure, as you are requesting and suggesting, Deputy McNamara. This change will allow participating farmers to more accurately monitor the effect changes that they have made on their farm have had on their nitrates figure. Department staff have made arrangements for the relevant data to be generated and for the changes to the online screens to display the monthly updates. It's expected to be in place for the start of November. Participants who need advice on how to manage their reduction can contact the department or consult an agricultural advisor to work out which changes would make the most sense on their own farm.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy, 1 minute.
1 minute, is it? Thank you, Laskin Curla. Thank you very much for confirming that it will be updated on a monthly basis. It will be of great benefit to farmers. I suppose if I could just use the very limited time available to me to just address this idea of a PGI. It's all well and good, but I mean, you know, all of the schemes which on Board B have promoted have actually not worked for the benefit of producers. They've worked solely for the benefit of processors. They're all being used to hammer prices. And this nationwide PGI, while it's in theory a good idea, would be just one more thing that farmers will be penalised for not adhering to by processors. Furthermore, it'll actually make it harder for individual farmers, for example, I don't know, who wish to register a PGI, because there will be one PGI registered effectively for the whole country, which will be in the control of processors rather than producers. And the whole PGI mechanism is about, be it in Ireland, be it Italy or any other country in Europe, is about a product, which is, and it gives control to producers. Ireland is the one, and I'm not surprised because it's the way the department work, it's the way on Board B work, it's to give power to processors rather than producers. And I'd ask you to bear that in mind in developing a PGI, that you just don't give further power to beef cartels.
Thanks, Deputy McNamara, for your contribution. I can assure you, the Department of Agriculture, with myself as Minister and Minister Hayden and Minister Hackett, that our objective will be to make sure that we work to get the best possible return for farmers in terms of the work that they do, and work with state agencies and all in the sector to ensure that that's the case. That's why we're taking the initiative in relation to the Food Ombudsman, and that's why I think there's merit as well in relation to developing a PGI. And I think it's important that it's done in a coordinated way and that it's properly marketed and driven, that the effort and resources are put into it, once it is hopefully agreed in partnership, to ensure that it is properly marketed abroad, and that it does actually connect with the consumer, and that it does, to the best extent possible, help deliver a return. It won't be the silver bullet, but hopefully it can be a significant help, and we need to leverage it to make sure it is and does deliver in the best way possible for the beef sector. So I'm not sure from your response whether you think a PGI is a good idea as such.
A PGI is, but not something that empowers.
You'll have a minute.
Yeah. But I think there is tremendous merit in it, and the important thing now is that we work with everybody, and particularly with farmer representatives as well, to ensure that it is one which everybody can get behind.
The quality assured scheme in theory is a good idea, but it works.
You have a minute. Deputy, you have a minute. You have another minute.
Oh, I have a minute. Oh, I didn't realise that. I wouldn't have interrupted so rudely if I'd known I had another minute. Thanks, Laskin Curley. Minister, I think PGIs are an excellent idea, but they're inevitably anywhere they're about producer groups. They're not about a nationwide development that will be held hostage by processors who completely control the Irish beef industry. And I mean, I know there have been complaints to the Competition Authority, and the only people actually, pursuant to those complaints, the only people who weren't investigated were the beef industry. Farmers were investigated, farmers' groups were investigated, and the processors themselves bizarrely weren't. So I don't know what kind of hold the processors, beef processors, have in this country, but it's a massive one, and it's right across officialdom in this country. I think PGIs are an excellent idea, but not when they're being, I think the Quality Assured Scheme is an excellent idea, but all it does is empower processors to pay farmers less. It's never about farmers being able to say, I produce a high quality product and I should get more money for it. It's about processors saying, oh no, the bullock or the heifer or the sheep is a day over a particular age, or their grade, there's too much fat or too little fat. It's used to pay less.
That minute is up, Deputy. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks, Deputy McNamara. I can assure you the objective behind this PGI is to try and improve the lot of farmers and try to ensure that we market it and develop and make the most of the tremendous product we have, and that through a PGI we can help sell that message to the consumers and not only increase the volume that we sell, but increase the value of what we sell. Certainly to ensure as well that in terms of it being developed, that it is followed through on in terms of marketing afterwards as well. So, and also, I mean, I think the key objective in terms of the National Food Management Office, which contributes to the points you've made there, is about trying to bring transparency to the food supply chain too, and in particular to ensure that there's an eye at all times in terms of what's available in the international markets, because it is the international markets that determine the price that's available that we sell into, and we need to make sure that domestically our farmers are getting a price that reflects what the processors are the markets that they are selling into, and hopefully, and the intention would be that through the National Food Ombudsman we can ensure that there is that transparency there, and that there's a fair deal for farmers.